Maybe this will be better? Don't know. Alright, gonna do a quick check to see if it's on Twitch now. Might be a little bit until I can figure that out. Oh, let me switch the... Oh, those are credits, if you'd like to look at the credits for this. Background music up. Turn off my music. If you'd like to look at the credits for this. Background music up. Turn off my music. Okay. If you'd like to look at the credits for this. It should be good. I could probably do something better with look at the credits for this. It's gonna make it look a little bit better on the screen. I could probably do something better with look at the credits for this. It's gonna make it look a little bit better on the screen. I could probably do something better with It's gonna make it look a little bit better. Still looks cut off at the top. Alright, 1 second. Oh wait, no, it looks fine. Okay, okay. Alright. I'm gonna start linking to everyone. Still looks cut off at the top. Alright, 1 second. Oh wait, no, it looks fine. Okay, okay. Alright. I'm gonna start linking to everyone. Still looks cut off at the top. Alright, 1 second. Oh wait, no, it looks fine. Okay, okay. Oh wait, no, it looks fine. Okay, okay. Oh wait, no, it looks fine. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna make my screen a lot easier to look at stuff. Kidoki. Oh shit. Computer, please work with me. I just wanna open up Discord. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna start. If this works, then it will be all good. Okay. I should also post in here. Okay, gonna go ahead and start because this is some good. That's what I think. Start. What is your name? I am called CEO. Oop. I expected many things to happen in my life. I expected to graduate, follow my dreams eventually, and live a happy life with the person I grew to love. Graduation. Ah, so close. 1 more year. I got just that with my adorably, absolutely adorably incubus Matthew. Yes, he's adorable and he's absolute. Good. Matthew and I have been together for a year. We were happy, we were in love, and everything was perfect between us. Being with Matthew was like a dream come true. We would design toys for the Anderson Toys Company together, and whenever we were free, we would play video games until the pillows of our bed called us to sleep. This is good life. Good life. I always woke up with a groovy grin and would go to bed as happy as a kid after a day full of fun. That was the joy that I got being with Matthew. However, there were a couple of times in my time with Matthew where life wasn't totally full of laughter. Angst. This is exactly what I meant by angst. Huh.
Simon! Get back here!
Huh? Matthew? Simon, our dear pet of sorts, was always a handful and managed to add a little spontaneity to our days. Often he'd run around the mansion, exploring new nooks and crannies and finding little gems for his treasure hoard in the corner of his kitchen. Of the kitchen, not his kitchen. I have that kitchen too. However, sometimes that wasn't enough, and he'd start going after Matthew's things, making things disappear one by one underneath Matthew's nose. Being busy and distracted, Matthew would never notice until the amount of missing items piled to noticeable standards. And sometimes it took a lot of theft to get Matthew's attention.
Give that back, Simon!
Matthew, wait! Hold on! What did he take this time? Usually I was able to help. For some reason, Simon imprinted himself on me, treating me with a fair amount of respect and obedience. Whenever it came down to getting something for Matthew from Simon, I was always the mediator between the man and the toy. This time, though, Matthew wasn't as eager to get my help.
Huh? No, I got it. Simon!
What? Before I could ask why, Matthew was off in a cartoon-like chase with Simon on the second floor. I had to take a moment to absorb what had happened. Did Matthew really say no for help with Simon? With Simon? It was practically unheard of. Simon was like his mortal enemy of the house, now that Sam was gone. If anything, Matthew always called on backup just to even the playing field with Simon, as the little furball was known for not playing fair. I stood there for a small second, listening to the distant sounds of Matthew running around and crashing into things, thanks to Simon, no doubt, flabbergasted. To my dismay, Simon's antics and the odd change in Matthew's behavior didn't end there. At one point, it apparently grew to its worst. Matthew was baking again in the kitchen. The smell of sugar and vanilla practically invaded my senses as I walked into the room. I was more excited to see my incubus meticulously measuring out ingredients. A part of me wondered why he hadn't become a baker or a pastry chef. I guess he was happy working for his brother at the toy company. Side job bakery or patisserie. That'd be cool. Somehow, that part of Matthew made me smile a lot, knowing he was helping my grandfather's company grow. Oh my goodness, or retirement bakery, retirement patisserie. I shook out my thoughts and let the sweet air completely consume them. Lost in the guesses roaming my mind of what Matthew could have been making. That smells so good, Matthew.
Huh? Thanks. I'm almost done. I'm just looking for...
That's a new sound.
Simon!
Simon! Matthew! Watch out!
Huh? Ah!
Did he get cut down? Oh my god. Simon was off running around again, his toy knife in one paw and a small cake-like square pastry in the other. Despite the bluntness of the toy knife, the gleam it gave off scared us into forgetting that, causing us to duck and weave out of natural instinct. It only proceeded to help Simon flee his crime scene and ushered Matthew to follow in rage.
I swear to God, Simon!
Matthew, hold on! One arm on Matthew's urged him to stop and listen, despite the red flush that proceeded to paint over his face from blinding anger in his body. I had to admit, it was adorable to see him so angry, but I didn't want him to be a volcano of rage thanks to Simon. What did he take? We can just get or make more.
Huh? No, it's fine. I just need to get him. It's okay.
Oh, I totally missed that. Matthew, just tell me what it is. The new sound effects. The new sound bites for Simon is great. At that moment, the red flush in Matthew's face instantly paled, and he almost looked as white as snow in shock and fear? Huh? It only lasted for a moment before his entire body almost began to glow in a ethereal blue tint, and his eyes began to flicker gold. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Ah, Simon!
Uh-oh. There he go. There'd the boy go. That singular noise of Simon's caused my incubus to rush out of the kitchen without answering me and sprint across the mansion towards the sound. I followed close behind, barely able to keep up with Matthew's speed. I am an out-of-shape human. Like, okay. I don't know if I'll be barely able. It might be just like at half pace. Just imagine like a full solid like 15-20 seconds after this happens. It's just like suddenly I emerge from the house. I'm here! When we arrived outside in the backyard, Matthew skidded to a stop, body completely frigid. I rushed up behind him and looked over his shoulder, wondering what froze him so stiffly. At the base of the gazebo sat Simon, crumbs surrounding his body as he licked his lips joyfully. His tail swung back and forth in victory as Matthew fell to his knees in some sort of humiliating defeat. Matthew? What's wrong? The look on Matthew's face was completely upset and bursting at the seams of anger. However, I could tell Matthew was holding himself back from straight out doing something stupid. Matthew knew better than to let anger control him. I, however, did not appreciate Simon's games pushing that limit. Oh, he's so sad. So sad. Ah! I glared at the white doll and stepped forward, catching Simon's attention. Unlike Matthew, Simon would remain obedient with me. I didn't want to be harsh, but I had to give him some sort of punishment for eating Matthew's pastry. Of course, I would be the one doing discipline here. Okay, that's fine. I've raised dogs. I grabbed Simon by the scruff of his neck, causing him to squeak, and lifted him to my eye level. You are in very deep trouble, Simon. Simon let out another squeak, but didn't fight back as I marched with him straight back into the mansion and into the dining room, where a nice cage sat at the end of the dinner table. Inside were many things to keep Simon occupied, but it was indeed where he would remain. It was indeed where he would remain until later. I opened the cage and gently placed him inside, quickly slipping my hand back out and locking the door so he couldn't escape. Simon looked at me with a blank expression before almost shrugging and hopping onto the hamster wheel inside. You're not coming out until Matthew says so, alright? Despite my questions, Simon kept running in the hamster wheel, causing me to sigh and return to Matthew. Matthew had come back inside and was sitting at the steps of the grand staircase, still looking very down and out about the situation. I grimaced and lifted his head slightly, almost heartbroken at the sight of his puppy eyes. Oh no! Oh no! Hey, how about we go to the Pink Lady Cafe for a bit, My treat. Matthew remained silent for a moment before nodding and standing. He wasn't smiling yet, but at least he wasn't completely downtrodden. He's so sad. When we arrived, we ordered our favorite treats and sat at one of the tables. The cafe was recently renovated to look more modern, and it definitely showed in the decor. Despite this, Matthew didn't look like he was feeling any better. Holy shit, this is a renovation, alright. Matthew? Simon's in his cage. It's alright now.
Well, I mean, it is, but it isn't.
What do you mean? Matthew bit his lip and dug a bit into his strawberry cake, refusing to answer. I could only press my lips together in irritation. What was Matthew hiding from me? Matthew? He lifted his head to look up at me. Please tell me, what did Simon take from you? Another moment of silence passed before Matthew sighed and slouched back into his chair. What surprised me was his face brightening to a peach pink.
It's
Zvoof? Zvoof?
It's alright.
Zvoof? Matthew, I'm not understanding what you're saying.
It's a ring, okay? It's a ring. A proposal ring.
What?
I found a gold ring in Simon's stash when he dug up trinkets from your grandfather's study, and it seemed to be the same size as other rings you have, and hey, maybe it was a family heirloom or something, so I wanted to use it in a cake to propose to you, but Simon apparently got mad that I took it, so he's been screwing up my plans, and...
Matthew, hold on! Matthew's face was as red as a tomato at this point, but he looked up at me, digging himself into his shirt and sweater like a shy turtle. I could tell he was holding back from exploding somehow, but he stared, stopping himself from rambling further. I myself was unsure of how to handle this. He wanted to propose to me with a ring he found in the house, and Simon pretty much ate the ring, or he ate the cake pastry it was hiding in and hid it from me and Matthew. Still, Matthew wanted to propose. I low-key, high-key forgot the plots of what these episodes are supposed to be all like between Seduce Me 1 and 2, and I'm just like, fuck. Like, I knew that they were all supposed to be proposals, but now I'm just like, okay, well, there goes a tear in my eye. Well, I could not help but hear my heartbeat escalate to a random tempo in my chest. I was beyond happy and joyful, and despite not being asked yet, and despite the situation Matthew was in now, I was more than excited for the future ahead. I felt my eyes start to water as a smile grew on my face, stretching wide in pure joy. Matthew's eyes widened at the sight, and he straightened up in a bit in a worry.
Hey, are you okay?
Matthew? I rubbed my eyes and face, trying to calm down from my ever-growing excitement. Matthew hadn't proposed just yet, and the surprise was in essence ruined, but I was beyond thrilled to know that we were going to take those steps in our relationship. As I lowered my hands at last, I grinned at Matthew. I love you so much, Matthew. Matthew stared at me, completely dumbfounded. I didn't want to mention his proposal plans anymore, not wanting to ruin his day further, so I simply laid out my love, hoping he would understand my intent. I was willing to wait as long as it took for him to make things perfect. Matthew finally smiled and laughed a bit.
I love you too.
It's so... Precious bean! Precious bean! I'm not crying as much as I did with Seduce Me 2's good ending, but like 1 or 2 tears happened, but okay. The air around us finally eased, and we were back to the joyous energy we shared as so proudly as a couple. Matthew ate with a little more excited vigor as I watched, thoughts of the future spiraling in my head. So I guess you'll be finding another way to propose to me, huh? Matthew took a moment and nodded to himself with a chuckle.
Well, my first plan was ruined by Simon. I have to try something else and really sweep you off your feet.
Why is he so good? He's the best. Matthew, you already do. Matthew blushed and chuckled a bit, stuffing a piece of pastry in his mouth before swallowing it in pride.
I promise to make you the happiest person in the world, okay?
I know you will. So good, so good, so good. Okay, I'm gonna open up the credits. Written by Michaela Laws, art by Camille Rulli, Badriel, and Anir Hapsodist. Music by Christopher Escalante, voice talent featured Ethan Nakashima as Matthew. Thank you for this episode. He's so good. He's so good. Okay. Now I feel like I will draw some stuff. I'll probably open up on Picato. Oh, that means I have to take out my tablet, huh? Okay. Well, I am going to take out my tablet and say thank you to Diva and Ume for stopping by. And also probably upload to YouTube. Okay. I'm gonna open up my tablet and I'm gonna draw Matthew. And he's gonna be cute and adorable and yeah. Alright, I'm gonna probably open a Viper card too in the next, 15 minutes. So yeah, thank you for stopping by. Have a good day and get lots of love. Kisses.